The speaker is Dr. Mano Harsha. He's a senior resident in general surgery at Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi. Mano Harsha did his MBBS from BLD University, Bijapur, MS General Surgery from PSIMS, Vijayawada, and a fellowship in Minimal Access Surgery from GEM Hospital, Coimbatore. He's a digital healthcare entrepreneur, growth hacker, and stress-proof success mentor, and is very active on social media. You can see him on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and LinkedIn. He's also the founder of Mission Happy Doctor. Mano Harsha is not new to marvelous medicine. He already did a session on white coat burnout, and it was very much appreciated by the audience. Today's expert would be Ms. Renu Maheshwari. She's a fiduciary certified financial planner and a SEBI registered investment advisor. She's the first individual SEBI registered investment advisor in Tamil Nadu and practices financial planning and portfolio management. She has an MBA in finance, is a certified financial planner, and has also done her CPFA and CFA. She co-founded Fin Scholars in 2012 and has received awards including Best Financial Advisor in India, Best Investment Advisor in India, Eminent Woman Achiever, etc. She's also the founder director of Association of Registered Investment Advisors, a Section 8 company, and she helps fellow RAs to develop client-centric practice. She pioneered the women-only workshop on personal finance and has been conducting sessions for more than a decade and has touched thousands of women. Her articles are regularly published in print media, and she's also interviewed and is seen on the YouTube. She has conducted workshops for employees of IT companies and is also running a course called Financial Planning and Portfolio Management at Stella Maris College, Chennai. Thank you, Mano Harsha and Renu Maheshwari, for sparing your time and joining us today. Your opening comments, Renu.
Yep, thank you very much, Vidya, Dr. Vidya, for this introduction. This is my second time interacting with your colleagues and friends, and always a pleasure and a delight. Money is my favorite topic. I love to talk about it anywhere, anytime. And I understand that your doctor colleague has got some interesting things to talk about. And I would love to pick holes in that, So let's have an interesting evening. I'm just waiting for him to show, make his presentation and then talk about what he is talking about. And I think I'm really looking forward to that.
So, Mano Harsha, have you reached home? You're ready to start your presentation? He was driving, so
okay.
Yeah,
I see him there.
So I thought,
yeah, now I see him there.
Hi. You're muted, Mano. The stage is all yours.
Okay, sorry for a bad lighting. All of you are so bright, and I'm supposed to be under a little bit of spotlight, but excuse me. Well, I'm very glad to be part of LGS community and Marvelous Medicine family. And I really appreciate the kind of ongoing efforts Dr. Radhakrishna sir, Dr. Vidya ma'am are putting in to provide such a beautiful platform for doctors like us to allow ourselves to share our insights and lessons. So today, definitely the topic is very, very important, and we have a subject matter expert, Miss Renuji. I'm not sure whether I would be the right person to talk in front of her. Probably it will be like gymnastics in front of Hanumanji. Please excuse me, ma'am, if there are any mistakes in the things that I share. These are all purely from my own lessons from life that I learned. You can call it as a pain, which became the wisdom for me, which I'll be sharing in some time. And thank you for giving this opportunity. Well, before I start, I'd like to ask who all have attended the first session on the white coat burnout? Please, can you put it in the chat box? I'd be happy to know. doctors. Ma'am, Radhakrishna sir is not here today. I can't see him.
Yeah, I'm here, Harsha.
Sir, hi. Hello.
Nice to,
Hi, sir.
nice to see you. See, I mean, all who have attended can just type yes in the chat box. All those who attended the previous session.
So maybe you're having a full new audience today.
Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to know because the reason why I'm asking is this session, you can call it as a little bit of continuation for the previous session in one aspect. Anyway, I'd like to take 5 minutes to introduce myself again. Well, thank you so much for giving a wonderful and lovely introduction. And I feel so small in front of all of you, legends from surgery. Well, I'm just a young surgeon, but still, thank you so much again and again for giving this opportunity. Firstly, as I said, I'm not a certified financial planner like Mr. Renuji. I'm not the subject expert. Whatever I'm sharing today is purely from the mistakes that I made, from the lessons that I learned the hard way as a doctor, as a growing doctor. So I'm sure some of the lessons that I learned, which I'll be sharing today, may help you in increasing your experience or expertise regarding finances and money. I'm Dr. Mano Harsha. I'm a general and laparoscopic surgeon. Presently, I'm pursuing a new niche in podiatry and advanced diabetic foot care. Presently, I'm working in Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi. I come from a humble background. My father was an ENT surgeon with 25 plus years of experience in private practice. And I grew up seeing my father. He was my idol and he was my motivation to become a doctor, a surgeon. But while growing up, there are some aspects that I was not really happy about. So all the lessons that I learned regards to financial mistakes that happened in my family, I've seen that so many doctors are also in the same situation. And this is one of the major reasons for burnout. So I decided that I should do something for the doctors. There are various reasons for burnout, and financial burden is just one of that. And I have initiated a mission called Mission Happy Doctor, through which, as a young surgeon, I have trained myself as a certified holistic growth and wellness mentor. And I'm trying to help out doctors to overcome burnout and build their dream life of professional success and personal fulfillment through coaching and mentoring. I remember it was around my second year of MBBS. One day, it was summer, and of course, there are not much patients. And I just knocked out at the door of my father's OP room. I entered the room, and he was just sitting there, seeing some files and all that. So and he asked me, kya hua beta? Aja. He said, I came. I went inside. And he said, I was just stammering. Then he's asking, what's the matter? It's like, I said, Dad, I wanted to go and meet my friends. They're like, go, why do you need my permissions? First time you're asking. It's like, no, that's not the issue. Then I was, again, murmuring in myself. The thing is, I do not have any pocket money to travel. I have to go to different city to meet my friends. Then my dad was like, oh, okay, you need money. Then I said, yes. He gave a pause. That pause I'll never ever forget in my life. There are many times I asked pocket money from my dad, and without any hesitation, he used to just give me directly. But that day, he gave about a 10 seconds pause. I didn't understand why. Then eventually, he looked here and there, and he took out his hand, kept in his pocket, and took out a note and gave it to me. It was a 1,000 rupees note. Of course, it was before demonetization. And he said, take it. I took it. And he said, this is all that I had. I said, I didn't understand. I thought maybe he did not have more liquid cash in his pocket. But later I realized that that was all the money that he had at that point of time. Nowhere in the house, there was no cash. It was just 1,000 rupees note, which was there with him. So I took the note, I went out, I got into the bus, and I went and met my friends. But the whole day, it kept on ringing in my, subconscious mind. What happened? Why is this happening? Did I make a mistake asking the pocket man? I felt so guilty. And that day I decided this is not the way a doctor has to live his life. In a way, I was very angry. I was upset and I was confused because I can understand if my father was a normal employee working, odd jobs or something, a hard worker in that sense, I can understand there would be financial crunches. But why being a doctor with 15 years of experience, there was not enough money? It's not that we don't have the wealth. We have a decent assets, but we do not have that liquid cash. And it was a very big problem. And this financial crisis have almost went for 11 and a half to 12 years from the time I've joined MBBS till the time I've completed my post-graduation. So this is two phases of my father that I've seen. Is the first 10 years, he has an amazing practice. Uh, he used to operate like 80 to 100 cases. And sometimes the patients, beds were not sufficient. I was a kid. He was having a roaring practice and we did not have any problem with money. But the next 15 years of his life, I've seen something went wrong somewhere. I was not mature enough to comprehend what and why. And slowly I've seen his practice declining. And not that, I saw my father stressing out so much. And he never used to share. That's what fathers are. They don't share anything. And it impacted not just one aspect of his life, it impacted his practice, his professional life, his social life, and also his personal life. He never showed any anguish in us towards us, but we sensed it. And I did not really like the situation. But eventually, I thought there would be light at the end of the tunnel. It wasn't. And when my dad left in COVID to the higher planes, the situation became more worse. I hit the lowest low of my life. We were having tens of millions of debts. I'm being vulnerable because I consider this as my family, and I truly consider. Uh, I don't know how Radhakrishna sir and Vidya ma'am feel, but I have a special bond with them. Though I have just met once because I don't know. I'm just sharing this openly. Uh, we had some few millions of debt, and I became the sole bread earner. My brother was not working. My mom, housewife. We shut our hospital. I did not even know how to rent the hospital for 1 year. I was just earning bare minimum to survive. This was the time I was working like a robot, going to hospital 12 to 14 hours. I don't know what I'm learning as a surgeon. I'm just surviving. So this impacted the way I treat my patients as well. I lost empathy. I lost completely empathy. And I made some terrible mistakes, which any surgeon shouldn't make. And I didn't realize I was in burnout. Emotionally, physically, financially, and socially, I had no friends. But something happened in 2022 that completely changed my life. And 3 years back, I don't know if whether it is planned by God. I can't imagine the situation. My father left on May 17th, 6 a.m., 2021. And May 16th, at this time, I was in the ICU around my father's bed, not knowing whether he'll come back or not. 3 years from then, I'm sitting here and sharing my life experience. I don't know how this is planned. And I get goosebumps when I'm sharing this. Well, so I learned some lessons the hard way. And today I am happy to say that I am in a decent position financially. All the wisdom that I've gained is just because of the pain that I underwent. What I don't understand is we were never told anything about money. There are a few times I asked my dad, sir, Dad, where do we have assets? How much money do we have? And how much expenses are happening in this? He's like, you don't worry about all those things. You go and study. You become a good doctor. You don't worry about finances. I'll take care of it. And once I went and asked my grandmother also about money. She said, don't think about money. This is not the age to think about money. You should just focus on your studies. Speaking about money itself is a big taboo. I don't understand that. The reason why so many doctors, doctors or engineers or whoever it is, if we are struggling, it is just because we were never allowed to speak or learn about money. This is the biggest challenge. So this is something I really wanted to put forth before I begin the session. Well, I don't want to keep this as a serious session to lighten up the mood. I just want to start with a quiz. How many of you like to play quiz? Please, I cannot see the screen. I'm not sure why. How many of you want to play a quiz? Okay, everyone. Good. Okay, fine. I'm sharing my screen right now. Let's get into the session. Hey, here we go. So I just like to ask you 3 questions, and I want you to fill in this blank. Can you see the question, all of you?
Yes.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, Harsha,
I
yes.
cannot get any
Yes,
response.
yes,
Clearly.
Mano.
Yeah, is it clear, sir? Okay, good. So I want you to answer, what do you think is your relationship with money? And I'm checking the chat.
Do you have options?
No, sir, no options. You can choose the option from your mind or heart. Vital, is someone told friend? Ah, sir, okay, ma'am. Radha, ma'am. Okay, Dr. Radha. Friend, great for lifelong. Money is the means and not the end. My husband takes care. Wow, I did not expect this answer. Happiness, good. Okay. Sir, there is nothing right or wrong. This is your perspective and your experience with money. There is no right, there is no wrong here. Tool, necessity and need, of course, 100%. It is necessity of life, essential partner, important, necessary evil. Yeah, I'm coming there. Necessary evil. Okay. I wish I had a better light. I look so dull. Okay. Essential component. Okay. Any more answers before we go to the next question? Gives confidence. True. Okay. Power, empower, sense of security. Let's move on. Okay, man. Sure. The second question. Money is dash to earn. Money is dash to earn. Money is difficult to earn. Money is easy to earn. Money is hard to earn. Not necessary, difficult, easy, hard, work for it, difficult. Okay. Invariably, we have the same answer, difficult source of. Okay. The third question is dash is the root of all dash. We all know this. Dash is the root of all dash. Money is the root of all evil. Ignorance is the root of all trouble. Money is the root of all ignorance, problems, greed, evil. Money is root of all solutions. Greed, trouble. Okay, fine. Well, I'll answer that. Before that, I like to move on ahead. In misery. Okay, okay. So, what I learned, the relationship that I have with money right now, today, is sacred. I was not thinking about money like this previously, but today I feel my relationship with money is very sacred. I'll explain that in some time. Let's skip one question and I'll go to the other question. Money is the root of all evil. Yes, absolutely wrong. This is how we are brainwashed as a child, as a kid. This is what we are made to believe. This is what we are conditioned to always believe in. That is why we are struggling with money. You cannot become rich thinking money is evil, or you cannot become rich thinking someone who is rich feeling jealous of them. I was like that. I always thought if someone is filthy rich, kuch to gadbad, something is fishy with this person. He must have made through some illegal means. I never believed that someone can make decent, good money or live a good lifestyle ethically and morally. This was my limiting belief. Obsession with money is the root of evil, not money per se. Absolutely correct, Dr. Shirley. Absolutely correct. So I learned the hard way is not having enough money can become the root of all the evils. Man can become a monster. This is my lesson. So this limiting belief that money is the root of all evil, I have deleted. The day I have deleted, you cannot believe things have started falling in place. The way we think, the vibes we emit, that is exactly how the universe will respond. This is with my practical experience. There are some money myths I'd like to burst before getting into the proper session. Don't focus on money, focus on skills, then money will follow. How many of you believe in this? How many of you tell this to your friends, maybe your children at home, or you have been told this? Don't focus on money. I can't tell you how many times people used to tell me this. My family, my relatives, everyone. Very much I believe. True. How many of you say this is right thing? We all do tell children. It's rubbish. It's right. Okay. Everyone is open to express. Everyone are right in their own way until something can happen in your life, like with me. Focus on money management skill. Only then it will follow and stay with you. This is my reframed version of the famous quotation. How many of you agree with me? It's okay. You may agree or you may disagree. I just want to know if there is anyone on my side. So Virendra sir, thank you. Vidya ma'am, thank you. Radhakrishna sir, I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you. And again, life doesn't teach you things very easily. Again, when I started learning this skill, my life took a different dimension completely. Money is bad. Money is bad. Money is bad. How many of you think money is bad? People get obsessed with money. I've seen some doctors, some doctors are really greedy. I have met one such doctor. I don't know the name, obviously, but Then I used to believe, money is making people bad. Till then, he was very fine. Till then, he was a good man, apparently. But when he started seeing wealth coming in, he became a very bad person, very cruel person, crooked person. Then I thought money is bad, man. Money make people bad. I actually used to think this. It's actually lovely, not bad. Wow, lovely. Okay. So I believe money is neutral. It just amplifies who you truly are. Maybe that person was like that, wearing a mask, and he just opened out when he started seeing wealth. Let me give you an example. Just see this picture. I'll not say anything. The same money, if it is with someone who want to serve, there is no limit to it. The same money, if it is with someone who want to destroy, there is no limit to it. It just amplifies who you truly are. How many of you agree with this? Yeah? Great. Now, this is what I have made to believe all my life till now. Money is hard to earn. Money is hard to earn. Money is hard to earn. And money was always hard to earn when till the time we were believing it, it was very, very hard for us to earn. Very, very hard for us to earn. We were always struggling for money, always struggling for money. But today, I realized money is easy to earn if you learn. The problem why we are not earning money is because we never learned the science of money. We never learned the anatomy, physiology, and the psychology of money. That is why we are struggling with money. Atlas wrote, money is a symbol of value. You must be equal to your money. Otherwise, it will crush you. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for that. I agree with that. Very true. So, anything, we have spent almost 1/3 of our life learning to become a doctor, learning to do surgeries, talk to patients, but we never learned anything about money. And every decision that happens in our life revolves around money. I don't understand this. For a very long time, I kept on believing money was very hard, and it was really hard. But when the shift happened, it doesn't mean that today I keep on writing money is easy, tomorrow morning I'll get 1 crore. No, it doesn't work like that. But you have to change your beliefs if you want to change your life, because our life is designed by our belief system, our limiting belief system. So when you think something is easy, then your brain can process the same information and it will give you the tools and insights to really find a way to make money, not just money, to solve a problem or to get into some position, anything. Your perception is the reality. This is what I learned. So after crushing the myths, let's get into the session. Why doctors suffer with finances? One word. Can anybody tell me? Why doctors suffer with finances? No financial education to us. Casual. Lack of investment. Okay, don't know how to manage money, not interested, ignorance. Poor money management, never give importance, never bother. Yes. No time, inclination, less business minded. Yes. Some of you are right. Financial ignorance. Ignorance is not bliss anymore. Ignorance is a curse sometimes, especially related to finances. It is a very big curse. We are suffering because we are ignorant. All the stress that we are undergoing is because of our ignorance, sheer ignorance. What is this financial ignorance? Lack of right relationship with money. I asked, what's your relationship with money? Some of you have your own views. But if it is a positive, then you will less likely struggle with money. If it is negative, 100% you will struggle with money. How many of you agree with this? How many of you have a poor relationship with money? Who think, okay, recently I have attended a session and it really blew my mind when I learned some facts about finances. How many of you bought a new car or new uh, any stuff, a new car probably, and you did not remove the cover of your car seats? I'll repeat the question. Any new article, cover, sofa, or something like car, and you did not remove the cover for few months? Akila Ravi Kumar raised hand. Okay. Including me. Including me. For almost 6 months, I did not remove the cover of the seats. Okay. When was the last time you purchased a wallet? When was the last time you purchased your wallet? I don't remember. Okay. How many of you bargain with auto driver, rickshaw driver? How many of you bargain with auto driver, rickshaw driver, vegetable vendors? You don't? Okay. Never? Okay. It's nothing bad. I bargain. I used to bargain sometimes. Okay. How many of you keep money without knowing to your partners or children in some safe space? I repeat, how many of you keep the money or cash in very close space without knowing to your partner or children? Okay. So the questions I asked was asked by my mentor, and I raised to most of the questions. And I understood that I was operating from the sense of lack. My relationship with money was always lack. I lack. That's why I want to protect it. I don't want people to see. I don't want, see, it's not that you have to display your money. I'm not telling that. Please don't do that. But when you try to overhide something, you don't want to remove the cover of your car seat, because if you remove, something might happen and you have to get it done again. Subconsciously, there is a lag that is acting in place. And this really blew my mind. Until and unless we don't change the relationship with money, we can never become financially rich. Well, this, some of you might agree, may not agree, it is meta science. It is not science. But I think it really has an impact in the way you have your finances. So the relationship should be operate from abundance, not lack. We should always operate from abundance. Feel that money is good and money is something which always loves me or likes me, and I'm going to make it. That doesn't mean you have to have favorishness towards money. Please don't get confused. We shouldn't be favorish about money. We need to have confidence that we will make enough money. So change your relationship with money. Most of us don't have the right relationship. That is why we are suffering. Obviously, lack of financial skills. Of course, that is the reason why we are here today. Lack of guidance. This is something most of us don't have. As we have Renu ma'am here, I think she'll be sharing her insights as well. I hope to learn a lot from her experience. How many of you have a personal financial advisor? Please put it in the chat box. How many of you have a personal financial advisor? Nalla, Dr. Nalla has no, no,
That's a
no,
good
no, no.
option. கொஞ்சம் commission போகும். But it might be a better option in long term. But I know you don't believe in that.
Ma'am, I cannot hear you. Please, can you repeat what you said? No, no, no. I do have. Okay. Those who have, really appreciate you because for a very long time, I did not even know who is a financial planner. Now I have. I'm glad that I have. This is the reason why we are not making enough. Okay, kind of. This is the reason why we are not making enough money. Even if you make enough money, still the money is not enough. Either you don't make enough money, or even if you make money, it is not enough. I hope you got that because you don't have guidance. Financial planner is like a finance doctor. Just like patients need us, every doctor needs a personal financial doctor. So when I researched, I found something very, very interesting and obviously shocking. Second most common cause of burnout among doctors is financial burden. Okay, let me ask you this question. How many of you feel that by the end of first week or second week, almost 80% of your income is over? Let me repeat the question. How many of you feel that by first week or second week of month, you feel that all the income that you earned so hard, working day and night, doing night shifts, leaving your family for 30 days, it's just over within 1 week or maybe 10 days. And you're again waiting for that 30th or 31st or first, sometimes that too, if you get salary on time. If you don't get, God bless you. I was there. I was there. I'm much better now. It's almost coming till third week to fourth week, first to 1 2 days of the fourth week. But earlier, within 1 week, everything is over. This is the kind of stress that we have. Do you agree? Yeah. And the extreme cases. Recently, there was one I've shared with Radha Krishna sir also. One doctor has committed suicide. Before committing suicide, we don't know the facts, but all of his family members were murdered by the same doctor. Children, mother, wife. News says that he murdered and then he committed suicide. And the reason being is this doctor, an famous orthopedician with almost 20 plus years of practice in Andhra Pradesh, had started a new hospital by taking huge debt from his friends and well-wishers. Yet, yes, at Vijayawada. And eventually he couldn't pay it off. And it seems that he was forced to work for free for 1 year. Well, I really don't know the facts, but this is what I came to know. But I'm not surprised. I know the similar stories from some of my extended family members and friends as well. And don't know for what reason the doctor had taken such a horrible step. And this is not a phenomenon only in India. Worldwide, so many doctors have committed suicide after murdering their family members. If you go and see in the news, you'll find so many examples as such, and it is happening in India as well. And this is so heartbreaking. I really couldn't sleep that day. And for us, it is just a news. Tomorrow morning, we just go back to our surgeries, putting some status PT party. This is not going to help. This is not going to help. Something has to be done, and we need to take action. As I said, the previous session was a continuation. This session could be a partly continuation of the previous session because we spoke about the 5 energy banks, and today we're going to talk about the one of the important energy banks, the financial energy. Unless and until we have proper financial energy, we can still land up in burnout because this one aspect will have impact on your emotional health, will have impact on your physical health, will have definitely impact on your social health and spiritual health. Do you agree? So in this session in the next 30 minutes, I'm sorry if I take 5-10 minutes. Hope to excuse me. Radhakrishna sir. We need to ask right questions. So we are going to ask 4 questions and I'm going to answer these 4 questions. This is all that you have to know about money. How many of you are excited? If you just have the answers for these 4 questions, I'm sure by the end of the next 30 minutes, your financial knowledge or awareness will go from 0 to at least 3. That I promise. Thank you. The first question is, what is money? Please put it in the chat box. I'll go a little fast from now because time is constrained. This is something that I definitely cannot put it in the 60 minutes, but I'll try to do my best. What is money? Please put your views about money. Vital, volatile, money is money. Wow. Money is money. Okay, great. A means to an end. Okay. Basic need, transaction power. Okay, fine. The second question is, why do you need money? What the hell is this question, Mano Harsha? What are you asking? Why do you need money? Is this a question even? To make money. We have some smart doctor here, Dr. Anjali. Essentiality. I need money to realize my potential. Okay. Very nice answer. To lead a comfortable life, make and live, to meet. Again, all of your answers are correct. I'm no one to judge. I'm no one to judge. It is just understanding the perspective. That's all. This session is all about having a new perspective about finances and money. That's all. To live life comfortably, of course. Okay. The third question is, how much do you need? Can anybody tell me what is the amount of money that you need to live that comfortable life, or to make more money, or to live more efficiently, or to access your true potential? What is not sufficient? How much is also very much an essential question that we need to ask. No limit. It depends on your work-life balance. Whatever I have for the next 10 years, there is no need. Can anybody give any number? It's okay. I'm not going to ask personal questions, but I just want to know. Do anybody have their number? How much they want? How much they need? Want and need is different, obviously, but how much do you think you need to live a comfortable life? How much do you need? Equivalent to 20 grams of gold? Oh, that's a funny answer. 5 crores. Okay, Madhukar. Okay, fine. You all must have your own numbers. It is essential to have some number. And I'll tell you why. How to make that money ethically and legally. This is all that we need to learn. Now, it is easy to make money in 2024 by doing scams, by in illegal manner. Well, we are not here to talk about those things. In fact, I don't want to also, even I don't know also. So all that I have learned is to make money, decent money, ethically, legally, and morally. Okay, cool. Do you think these 4 questions are very valid questions? And did we have these questions in our head anytime till now? Please put it in the chat box before I go to the next slide. Pensionless career scarce. True. Yes and yes. Good to know, ma'am. Okay. The next 25 minutes, let's answer these questions. Okay. What is money? Money is the means of value exchange. The literal definition or understanding about money is it's a means of value exchange. And it is just reflection of the value that you add to the society. This is what I learned from my mentor. And it really shifted my perspective about money. I never thought about money. I do not even know what is its value. Value is we as doctors, I think we provide the highest value to the people who come to us. Some midnight, some appendix patient has come to you. Perforation appendicitis. You must have operated. If you hadn't operated, of course, some doctor would have operated. That's a different thing. But let's assume, if not timely intervened, that patient would have lead to much morbidity or even mortality. Now, to perform that surgery, by the way, how much do you charge, sir, for appendicectomy? I just want to. Okay. So, probably you would charge some 25K, 30K, 40K, whatever the amount is. Now, just tell me, do you think the life of that person's is worth of 40,000? Did you take 40,000 and gave his life back? No, right? Absolutely no. Okay, not everyone here is a surgeon. Okay, doctor, I think most of you are doctors. Whatever branch you are in, you're saving patients or you're helping them ease their pain in whichever way possible. And you're taking some amount in return. In this case, we're talking about the value. So what I mean to say is the value that you provide is always multiple times than the money you take. You just cannot quantify. Suppose the cost of this phone is 50,000, 60,000, whatever is it. Now, if I ask what is the value of the charger, do you understand the context? Without the charger, the phone, there's no meaning to this. But the price of the charger is very less, very, very less compared to the phone. But the value is so high. In the same way, I think doctors provide very high value and in return, they take a little money. The reason why I'm telling you is this, don't shy away in charging your patients. I'm not asking you to be greedy. I'm not asking you to overbill them, make it a burden for them, but you deserve for the kind of efforts and sacrifices that you made all your life. Please don't undervalue your skill and don't undervalue your skill. Money is spiritual. The day I learned this completely blew my mind. Money is spiritual. That is why I have a sacred relationship. Money is Lakshmi. Money is energy. And without this energy, the world will come to a standstill. So all the negative beliefs that you have about money, I want them to be removed in this session. From today, think that money is spiritual. If you already have that perspective, wonderful. You're on the right path. Money is a thank you note. Wow. I felt like wow when I heard this. Money is just a thank you note that your patients give you for the work, for the help, for the service that you provided. And when a lot of money is coming your way, it's a standing ovation. How many of you like that? When one person, two persons give you, it's a thank you note. And when you're getting money, because you're providing a lot of value, then you get more energy from the universe. And it's a standing ovation. This changed my perspective completely. It's just a thank you note. Now we understood what is money now, and let's get into why do you need money? All of you are right. We need like money to live a comfortable life, to satisfy our wants and needs, access our potential, all that. But you know, the one thing that we all are striving towards in this life, one word, if I ask you, can anybody tell? Security. Depend on someone. True. You close by, just ask one word, it's something related to that. Time. peace of mind, survive, independence. All of you are right. All of you are right. Freedom. We are working so hard day and night. And what we earn is really peanuts compared to our peers. But still we love our work. But we are still struggling with money. We are not just struggling. Maybe the family members that who are dependent on us are also struggling. But do you think you deserve to make much better income than what you have today? It's not about greed. It's about what you think that you deserve. Why do I say it is freedom is as long as we are living life working so hard because we have to pay our EMIs, we have to pay our bills, we have to take care of children's education, we have to take care of other stuff. You see the have to. Freedom is living a life because you want to, going to work because you want to, not because you have to. And this degree of freedom is given by money in your life. It gives you the time freedom to spend more time with your family so that you do not keep running here and there and worry that if you take a leave, you'll have a loss of pay. Why do we have to fear about that? Because of that, we are leaving our family behind sometimes. It may not always be because of the patients. Please don't let us fool ourselves that patients are first always. How many of the days that probably you just went to the work because you don't want to lose the pay? It's nothing wrong. Even I go to that. But I couldn't go home to my father's rich. No, this is something I'll get emotional. I couldn't go because I didn't find leave. I was denied. It's like, what the hell? What am I doing? This is not the kind of life. I don't have freedom to visit my own home when I want. Patients are important in emergency, not in non-emergency. You are more important. Your freedom is more important. When you have greater degree of freedom, you can definitely access your true potential, then you can serve more patients. Not because you have to, because you want to. That is the freedom I'm talking about. The freedom to go whenever you want, the freedom to live the life on your terms, the freedom to spend time with your family, have a perfect work-life balance. That is the freedom I'm talking about. How many of you think we all deserve that kind of freedom as doctors? But we are made to think, if you think about money, we are sinners. Doctors should not think about money. We are born for seva. I wish the government should treat all our parents and give free education to our family, our children. Maybe then it is fine. That's not the case. We are the highest taxpayers again. I don't understand this. We need to wake up to the reality. Good. Act of doing surgery is challenge, not doing surgery. Very true. How much money do you need? How many of you know what is fire? I think Renu ma'am would have explained better, definitely. How many of you know what is fire? Financial independence, retire early. Anybody? Nobody? Anybody know what is fire? Heard of? Okay. I don't know. No issue. It's okay. Even I didn't know for a very long time. This is the kind of amount practically that you need. That if you have this amount, you can retire today. Again, retirement doesn't mean stop working, stop treating patients and sit at home. Retirement means you're no more working for money, rather you're working because you want to work. That is a kind of retirement. It is a financial retirement, not a physical retirement. How do you calculate this? There is a formula for this. It's available all over in the internet. Okay. There are different formulas. Ma'am, if I am wrong, please correct me, Renuji. But I think this is a formula. Yearly expenses into 25. some say it is 30. What do you say, ma'am? Please correct me.
Yeah, these are all rule of thumbs, and rule of thumb is only that you really cannot consider them as the right answer, and it is actually not a right answer. Technically, this is not a correct answer.
Okay, again, it should
I mean,
definitely depend upon person to person. It is very personal, right?
no,
Depends on that.
not just personal. The formula is not appropriate. If someone really wants
Okay.
to achieve that independence early in life, they will have to look at expenses, but it doesn't have to be multiplied by 25 or anything. It is that they need to
Mm,
calculate their current expenses, then account for expected inflation in the leftover years of their life, and then discount them with the current with the rate of return, and also add on to that the other financial goals. So this 25 and all
mm,
of that. So what happens is,
mm,
over the internet, you have plenty of people who give out these numbers. And it's not
mm.
just this number. There are so many other numbers like what should be the safe withdrawal rate and so on and so forth. Um, they're all that rule of thumb.
But at least can we take it like an average without having, it's better to have little knowledge rather than not having anything,
Yeah, but
zero knowledge,
sometimes,
right?
yeah, that is right. But sometimes that little knowledge can also lead us to taking decisions which may not be correct, and we may end up taking major decisions of our life based on information which is not accurate. For
Mm.
example,
Then
I may decide, okay,
yes, ma'am. Then I
no,
think all the doctors here should definitely contact you so that maybe you will make them well versed at how much actually the money they need.
No, definitely. I mean, it's not just that
Yeah,
me,
definitely.
but it is, I
Yeah.
think, what you have brought out very, very accurately in all this last 1 hour is that it's money is something which you should be thinking about it seriously. I think money should be taught about even during school
Yes.
and colleges. So
Okay.
students, especially in their final year, they should be able to, eh, before they start earning money, they should know how to manage that money as well. So those are very, very important things. Emotionally, yes, we all lived in a society where talking about money was not supposed to be a great thing. We didn't grow up in a capitalist society. We all grew up in a very socialist and left thought process kind of a society where money was supposed to be a bad thing. Um, Having said that, everyone needs money, everyone has to have money, and looking at healthily, yes, is very important, but more important than that is not getting into the see, there are plenty of material which is floating around on net, and just the way we do not look at we shouldn't look at our own personal health by on with our own uh, I read it over the net. Okay, I have a pain in my chest. I should not be bothered about it. I shouldn't worry about going to the doctor because it can be this, that. But actually, who am I to decide? Yes, maybe a little bit, but I really, if I'm feeling tired or unhappy, not unhappy. I mean, if I have any of the symptoms, it's a doctor who is the right one to be able to look at those symptoms and tell me that what is the right thing or the wrong thing, or the $0 paracetamol, or I need to go for a heart checkup. So that is the difference. That's the difference, and that's what I think. Apart from having a healthy relationship, we should also understand that money is technical now. It's not what it used to be a few years back. Even I would say 1.5 decade back, it has become technical. Finances have become very technical. Now someone talks about gift city, someone talks about LRS, someone talks about uh, you know uh, I'm talking about general things of sectoral fund and index fund, and what should I do when someone says leave the money there for 20 years. Someone says no, please keep looking at it all the time. Someone says, hey, I made so much money in trading, why are you wasting your time going to the hospital and all that and working so hard? I made so much money sitting on the laptop on computer. There is a whole lot of stuff that's happening in the world around money. It's not just a plain green, yellow, or blue money, which is a means of exchange or of services and goods, or to avoid barter system. there's a whole lot which happens around it. So it has become a technical subject. And as you said, rightly said, that yes, if you are aiming for fire, don't do it on your own. Definitely don't think that you are ready for fire on your own. You should definitely find an expert, take that opinion, and then take the call. Because these are major decisions. A lot of people, once they realize that they have enough money, would like to take it easy, not really run after money, so to say. But if someone does that in their late 30s while they're still not ready financially, they would have wasted the youth, the young time of their life, and they could have made a lot of money and retired in a better place at the age of 45. So take expert help. Do not go by these rule of thumbs to take major decisions. Maybe yes, to give you some direction, that's perfectly fine, but not to take major decisions. Sorry, I went on and on. Over to you.
I think just as you started speaking, I think we lost connection with Radhakrishna. Can you spot him?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Just missed the connection.
Okay, fine. I was about to send this thing for you. Police
Ma'am, can I
complaint.
just take 15 minutes? I
Yeah,
know
go
I'm
ahead,
beyond the time.
Go ahead.
Is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yeah, you need to go on slideshow mode.
Is it visible? 1 second. Okay. Is it visible now?
The slides are visible. You just need to go on slideshow mode and so meanwhile I would suggest that people can put their comments and questions in the chat box, because we may not be having too much time. So if you already put, we may not be able to speak to each and every one of you. So if you could just put your questions and comments in the chat box, either Renu or Mano Harsha.
Yeah, fine. Harsha, correct. Yeah. This is the right screen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's my mistake.
No, done. We are good. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So as Renuji has suggested, definitely there are so many factors that we need to keep in mind. But I think this is some average figure that I found. Well, you have to know exactly how much at least money that you need to retire. This is very, very important. You have to have the answer for this question. So it begins with having clarity. Financial awareness is the first step to anything. So these are various steps you can go about in the internet. I'm not getting into the details of this because of in the interest of time. But I am somewhere in the stage of stability to flexibility. I haven't reached my financial independence, and probably like Radhakrishna sir was thinking that I have made a lot of money. No, sir, definitely I haven't. I've seen your post in the morning, but I'm very sure I will be there. I will be there to achieve my freedom so that I can operate from that sense of abundance and help more patients out and more doctors out. That is my mission. I'll definitely be there. And I wish all of us should be there. And it begins with this one crucial step of having the clarity of where we are. What is our financial health today? Right? The fourth question is how to earn money ethically, legally, and morally. Well, this is something which I have found. It's not there anywhere in the internet. At least I don't know if it is there. But this is what I have made from my experiences. This 3M rule, we all have to know if you want to generate wealth. The first M is make money Second is manage money. The third is multiply money. Where do you think most of the doctors are very good at and very bad at? Can you put it in the chat box? Where do you think most of us are very good at and very bad at? Good at first time. Bad at managing and multiplying. Many are good at making, bad at the other. Very true. Okay. Another question. Which is the most toughest thing to do? Making money, managing money, or multiplying money? Which is the most toughest thing? Please think and tell. I'm bad at 3 M's. It's okay, sir. We all are at some point, but we'll definitely get better. Manage, multiply, manage. Well, I think managing is the most crucial and toughest part. The easiest thing, which is the easiest thing? Yes, if you can't manage, you can absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I believe the easiest thing is no, multiplying. If you just know the art of multiplying, you can just multiply like that. It may not be like this actually, but with a decent knowledge, your money will definitely grow, even if you have a decent knowledge. Right? These are the 3 stages, 3 dimensions of generating wealth. Make, manage, and multiply. If you just know these 3 things, you will never, ever, ever have any financial stress in your life. Promise, guaranteed, 100%. There is no way you will become broke. If you are suffering financially, one aspect of this is bad. Either you're not making enough or you're making enough, but everything is going by the end of first or second week, then you have a management problem. Or you're making money, you're managing money, but still your money is not growing. Then you have multiplication problem. Now you are a very good manager. If you are very good, if you know how to multiply, if you have money, but you don't have that, obviously you're not making enough. So reflect, go back and reflect which is the dimension that you are lacking at or poor at, and you have to improve that. The question is not about how much money you make. It's the question is about how much money you keep, manage and multiply. One of my friend, a neurosurgeon, is making around 4.5 lakhs. And one day he called me and he said that I want to change my job. I'm not getting enough money. It's like 4.5 lakhs, man. Are you mad or what? And he's like, what's wrong with you? Isn't your wife also working? I suppose. She said, my wife is getting around 1.5 lakh. 6 lakhs, a couple living in Bangalore, you can live a bindas life. I didn't understand. Then I went and asked him about his expenses. Then I understood. Even if he makes 10 lakhs, there is no way he can be happy. He has a management problem. So these are the 3 M's that I go to dive little deep, but I'm not going to talk anything about making money because most of you are making more money definitely than me. So, and you know better. So I'm really focusing only on the management part and little bit of multiplying. Okay. So manage money is all about budgeting, about the insurances, about the emergency fund, tax saving, knowledge about taxes. Multiplying is all about your investments. How do you classify your asset class? Reniji will definitely help you better with that. But we have a broad vision of personal finances. These are the 3 M's that all the doctors should learn. Have to learn. It is a must. We should keep all these 3 things in mind. Let me go into the management part. Before that, most of us are struggling because, by the way, this is a copyright image from Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. How many of you read his book? How many of you know Robert Kiyosaki? Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Okay, fine. So, why we are, most of the people, whether doctors or non-doctors, we remain poor, we remain in middle class family, is just because, it's just because our typical monthly behavior, money behavior is like this. What is your money behavior? As soon as you get your month income, if they are going to the expenses directly, you will never grow in life. It's very, very hard. Unless and until you're filthy rich, your family have assets, then it's good. It's a good thing. Otherwise, you cannot grow. You will always remain poor. Middle class mindset is they get the income. The next thing they do is go on Amazon, Flipkart, the first week shopping. Nothing wrong. But if the behavior is as soon as you get the money, if you're going on putting the money in the liabilities, you will still struggle. You will make somewhere decent income, but it is still hard to grow. The rich people, what do they do is first they buy assets. That means whenever they receive the income on the first week, they start investing. So I think some of you might have heard this. Income minus expenses is equal to savings. Yes or no? Income minus expenses is equal to savings. Yes or no? How many of you are following this? Please put it in the chat box. Ask, please. I want to know the answer. Yes, yes, yes. No. Okay. No. Very good. Should be income minus savings plus expenses. Minus saving should be saving. Okay. Okay. Well, that is wrong. Income minus expenses is not equal to savings. Income minus investment is equal to expenses. What I am doing right now is, as soon as I get my income through various sources, I invest on the second or third of every month. After my investment, and I give charity every month, 3% of my income. This is something what my mother taught me. Just like you put little ghee in food to make the other part, it's say that it purifies basically complex carbohydrate to, it makes simple carbohydrates to complex carbohydrate. The ghee, we know the science, but they say that annam shuddhi avutundi. That's what they say. If you put little ghee. In the same way, the money that you get, you have to give at least 2 or 3% in charity. If you're already doing it, good. If not, you can inculcate this habit and teach your children also. So 2 to 3% goes to charity. After charity, I do my investments. Then the balance that I have, I divide for my expenses and for the stuff that I want to buy. This is what I do. So if you want to become rich, you have to copy the behavior of rich people. This is the first management rule that we have to follow if you really wanted to step up your financial game again. A simple rule, BPP, is budgeting, protection, and prepare. Budgeting we'll be talking now. Simple rule is 50-30-20. There are so many formulas like Renuji has told previously. But again, something you have to follow. 50-30-20 is, I think, for people who have zero knowledge about finances, you have to start implementing your budgeting, at least with this formula, that 50% should be your expenses, 30% should go to your wants, and 20% to your investments. This is the first thing we have to follow. First, B for budgeting. Then protect. These three insurances are very, very, very important. I've seen that so many doctors themselves do not have a health insurance. We talk to patients about whether they have Aadhaar card, whether they have this card, Arogyasri, that, this and all. But I asked, do you have an insurance? One of my friends said, why? I don't need it. He said, like, oh, you're so sure you'll never become a patient in life. You're a Superman. God bless you. Please, let's not fool ourselves again. We are more vulnerable. How many of you have health insurances? How many of you have indemnity insurance? Professional indemnity. Many people are reckless. So many do not have indemnity insurance. Even if they have for 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs for naam ke vaste. Kuch bhi nahi hota, 10-15 lakhs se. Recently, a radiologist has paid 2 crores compensation in medical legal litigation. Such a big stressor. One case, all your wealth will be wiped out and your family can come on road. I'm sorry to say this is happening. And doctors are committing suicides because of this, because of one medical legal litigation. Everything is gone. Let's not be naive. Let's be financially strong. Protect what we have. Protect your profession. Protect your health and well-being first. Have insurances, at least 10, 15 lakhs. Health insurance is the least. If you have 20, 25 lakh, very good. Not just you, have to have health insurance for all your family members as well. Indemnity insurance, minimum 1 crore. That's what people are saying now. And it is true also. 50 to 1 lakhs is the minimum that is a doctor has to have. Term insurance, I cannot say how important this is. Please protect your family. Please protect your family. Prepare. Emergency fund at least 3 to 6 months we are supposed to have, which covers your experience. Suppose your expenses are 50,000 per month, 50,000 into 6 months, 6 fives, 3 lakhs should be your emergency fund, which has to be in your bank account or FD or liquid funds or whatever. You have to have that at least for 3 months. There was a time when I was jobless. I lost my job, but luckily I had this emergency fund for almost 3.5, 4 months, so that I came back home. I thought, okay, I'm not working for next 1 month. Let me figure it out. And my life went. I need not worry about expenses. Had I not educated myself about this, I would have such a big stress. And I've seen so many doctors can lose jobs just like that these days. We are having the same situation like engineers. Whether a job or private practice or anything, please safeguard by having emergency fund. Try starting to save and minimum amount and keep it aside and create your emergency fund if you don't have from today. If you follow these 3 things, these 3 things are the basics of managing your finances. BPP. Are we clear? Is it helpful? Nothing complex. Very, very simple. This is the basic management skill that we need to have. As I said, same thing, 50, 30, 20. You can just go and see in the internet this one. I'm not getting into details. 50% should include all your EMIs, all your water bills, your transportation and everything. Needs should be, so that is the needs, and wants is your all entertainment, all your shopping, hobbying, restaurant, partying, everything. And 20% should go to your savings. Savings here means investments. Please, keeping money in the bank account is not saving anymore, and you will still remain a middle class person if you're not investing. Yeah, 20% is investments. And this is the basic thumb rule, which I found very helpful. Again, it varies, but again, it depends upon the factors, your family background and the assets that you have and the debts that you have. But someone from who's in a lower middle class to middle class doctor without having big financial backup, if you don't want to burden yourself, don't put a pressure that you have to buy a home in your early 30s or late 30s. You can wait. Please, you can wait. This is the mistake. This is the mistake so many of us are doing. The moment we started earning, our dream house comes up. Nothing wrong to have dream house, but we need to have that calculated. You need to take a calculated risk. And any house, if you want to take, it should not go more than 3 to 4x of your annual salary. And 20 years to 25 years is an ideal tenure that you can have. EMI monthly, if you don't want to have a burden, at least it should not cross more than 30 to 35%. If you're earning 2 lakhs, more than 60,000, if your EMI is going, then you're getting into the red zone. Of course, if you're having other assets, if you have a partner earning, again, all those factors definitely play a role, like ma'am said. But if you're only sole bread earner, or if you're not having much backup, be very well informed about your finances, especially your EMIs. That neurosurgeon is making 4 lakhs and is paying 2.8 lakh on EMI. He can never become a rich person. He will look rich, but he'll never become rich. He will always have that financial stress. And down payment, they said 40% should be at least the amount that you need to have to make the down payment and take only the rest as a loan. Car loan, same thing, 20% minimum down payment, maximum for a year. and it should not go more than 10 to 12% of your monthly EMI. These things you can find in internet. Please educate yourself. If you want, you can take a screenshot. And again, I am not a personal finance advisor. Please contact Ms. Renuji. Well, this is something very interesting that I found is almost 90% of the doctors, eventually we make money. Eventually we'll be successful. But how many of the doctors have work-life balance? How many of the doctors have that freedom, azadi, to live life on their terms? How many of the doctors have a good quality of life? Unless and until you don't have these things, you're a poor person only. Having bank balance is not being a rich doctor. And how do you do that? Who works more? Actually, this is something supposed to be different. If you are working more, then you will always be poor. If your money works more than you, then you will become rich. Then you will have the time freedom. Then you'll have the freedom to spend with your family. Then you will have really fulfilling life because you're living life on your terms. That is true happiness. That is living a good quality of life. That is when you can call yourself as a rich doctor. Not just because you have lots of money, but zero time for your family. Not good. Inflation is a silent killer. I think most of you know the power of inflation. So this is it. It's almost 10 times in 1970 to 2020. The price of one coffee cup has grown multifolds because of inflation. Your money is eroded by inflation when you store it all in the bank alone. You can never grow financially. Please be wise. And 7%, 8% is your inflation. And FD, whatever money you get is like 4 to 5%, still minus 2%, you are in negative balance. The importance of input-output charting for our patients, the same thing we need to know. Are we having the positive balance or negative balance? Storing money in the bank account will not make you rich. Savings will not make you rich. Gone are those days. Please wake up and educate yourself. Start investing. This is simple terms, the 1 degree effect. I'll talk about this later. It's a big topic. Power of N is the number of years that you invest, the better income that generation, better wealth you make. Power of N. It's not the amount that you invest will decide alone, but how long you stay invested will make a lot of difference. And rule of 72, with the next 2 slides, I'll be ending it. I know I got a little fast because of various issues, we got disconnected and all that, but I hope you're following it. Rule of 72 is we have to know how many years does it take for your money to double. It's all about multiplying. Means if you put 1 lakh, you need to know within how many years that money becomes 2 lakhs. And that is dependent on the rate of returns that you make. In simple terms, if you're just making 0.5 rupees per month, that is 6% per annum, typically in the FD, like 4 to 5 to 6%, your money that you deposited today, your 5 lakhs if you have deposited, will take 12 years to become double. If you want to wait for that much time, it's up to you. So if it is 1 rupee per month, it is self-explanatory. 12%, it takes 6 years. 1.5 per month, 18%, it takes 4 years. 224. See, but I personally think today I am in the bracket of 18 to 24. If I invest, minimum return that I want is 15%. I'm not going below that also because I know I have age and I'm a risk taker. Earlier I was not. I was in my comfort zone. Today I'm a risk taker, calculative risk taker, and I know how to multiply the money. Accordingly, you have to put your money in certain asset classes. Which instrument or which asset class gives you which type of return according to your risk appetite and age depends your multiplication game. So this is the same thing. FD you'll get somewhere around 5 to 6%. Growth is zero because it was almost equal or less than the inflation. 7 to 10% is all the national pension scheme, PPF. See, all this information is available in the internet. There's nothing new. I tried to just simplify and make it in a chart so that it is easy to make you to understand. That's all. 10 to 12% you make in the debt funds or bonds, 12 to 15% in the real estate and mutual funds. And the higher returns you make, obviously, the higher is the risk. You need to calculate your risk appetite and start investing accordingly. Okay. And so here I'd like to end my session. I want to finish some take home messages. I think I lost that. Yeah. Well, that is it. I'm open to questions. Sorry to take your time, but I hope it made a little impact in the way you think about money and improved at least your financial awareness, at least by 1%. Thank you.
Thank you, Mano Harsha. Renu, would you like to summarize and add your thoughts?
I think there is no time for a summary anymore. If someone has a question, can ask me.
I know you can. No, you can go ahead with the summary. By then, people will type their questions.
Yeah, no, there's a whole lot of stuff which doctor spoke about, and it's like I said, yes, emotional aspect is important. I also said that don't go by the rule of thumbs. Better, take in a expert opinion, and of course, asset allocation is important. But it's not as simple as time and risk-taking capacity of with a particular age. Yes, it works like that. I also saw crypto as an asset class. Crypto is just a tool to, not even a tool. It's a betting, and not even legalized betting in India now. So I would not put crypto as an asset class at all. Crypto is crypto. That is, it's cryptic. It's not even a currency. I would suggest you all to stay away from it. Debt funds will not give you 10 to 12%. Debt funds and fixed deposits will give you kind of similar returns. Equity and equity mutual funds will give you similar returns over a long period. Direct equity and real estate will also give you similar returns. It's not just the return. The first thing that you need to look at is what is the risk that you can take. Once you decide upon what risk can be taken, or your advisor decodes it for you, that what risk you can take, based on that the investment has to be moved. So making more money is great. We all want to make it, but everything comes at a cost. What cost can we afford to pay is what is the most important part in money management. So the tips given by the young doctor are extremely useful, but you need to watch out for all the pitfalls. I would like to bring to attention the Rich Dad Poor Dad theory and book. This was written by Robert Kiyosaki sometime in 80s and became a bestseller in US. But remember the disaster of 90s and the and what we saw, the storyline of derivatives and the risks it brought to the international markets had a lot to do with this rat race of everyone can leverage themselves, everyone can leverage buy real estate on leverage, on loan, and make a lot of money and multiply overnight. That was the biggest culprit. So there is no easy money. There is, if something seems easy and something seems overnight, it's making a lot of money for you, stay away from it. It is either a Ponzi scheme or it's a gambling tool which can wipe off your wealth in the same manner the way it has created the wealth. Robert Kiyosaki was prepared to sleep on the road, and he did that at a lot of stages in his life and then made the money. Are we prepared to take that kind of a risk? Probably not. So a few of his concepts are good, that you should save and invest first, but leverage investing is what he has spoken the most in that book. Stay away from that. I would never recommend any of our clients to do it. I would Yes, there are traders, there are people who just do that for their livelihood. That's a different issue. But as professionals, our principles should be same, simple: earn, spend wisely, save, and invest. Depending on your situation in life, your savings can be decided. You don't have to run for savings all the time. Till you achieve fire, your savings ratio rate should be higher. Post that, it should go down. But investing regularly is very important. Trying to understand the tools when you are investing is very important. And the biggest important thing is to be able to understand the numbers is what is that return number telling you and what is the right return number. So those are technical topics, lots to go. It's already 9:33 and I'm sure post a lot of doctors dinner time. So we can move ahead and I'm here to take questions if any.
Yeah, thank you. Let me look. Radhakrishna, did you find any questions in the chat box or anything you wanted to ask yourself? Okay, what's your thoughts on living a comfortable life in the beginning of one's career? That's an interesting question. Either of you want to take it?
Yes, if you're asking me, I may not be a doctor, but beginning of the career, if you are not endowed with a lot of inheritance money, you're coming from a regular family, just continue with the lifestyle that you were before you started earning yourself. Continue with that same lifestyle. The moment you touch a luxury, it will become a necessity and you will not be able to bring it down. So, till you achieve financial freedom, I always suggest youngsters to stick to their standard of living. Okay, increase once in a way, do indulge in some pleasures, but comfortable lifestyle is maintaining the standard of living that you were in till you think you can really afford to increase your standard of living. You don't have to live a life of insecurity either. So don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm an MD, I can earn good money. Doesn't mean that I have to struggle right from, I mean, you finish your MD by the time you are in mid 30s or so, and or 30s at least, and then not enjoy your money. So don't take me wrong, but don't rush to increase your lifestyle expenses. Increasing lifestyle expenses without acquiring full financial security can become a more torturous thing, which can make you more unhappy in life. It's like that when I started working, we didn't have air conditioner. Did it make me miserable? Not at all. But now, if you switch the AC off for even for 5 minutes, I'm miserable and sweat, and I think this is the worst day of my life. So if I can't afford AC all the time and I get used to it, then I'm making my life miserable and um, open to all the threats and blackmailing by all sorts of elements around me.
There's a question,
What's your take
Vidya.
on it, Mano Harsha? What is your take on the same question, Mano? What are your thoughts on living a comfortable life in the beginning of your career? And Renu, Dr. Manju has asked, how do you look for a good financial advisor?
Yeah, so see, in India, there is a license called SEBI Registered Investment Advisors. And that's a license given to people who are authorized to advise their clients. And they are the only ones who are authorized to advise clients minded on a holistic manner. How do you find them? You can visit SEBI's website. You can also visit BSE website. The list of all SEBI registered investment advisors is there. You can visit our website of ARIA, that is Association of Registered Investment Advisors, who have got the list of all fiduciary advisors. So check out from there. They have city-wise list. You can find the RIA in your neighborhood. That's the first step. Second step is then look at the qualification and experience of that particular advisor, their track record if possible. Third thing is reach out to them and then talk to them, see what is their office setup, how permanent are they in their practice, what is their source of revenue. Very, very important. Are you their only source of revenue? Then they are fiduciaries. If they're earning through commissions as well, then they're actually not advisors, they're distributors, and they're not even authorized to use the word advisor in their business card or in their profile anywhere. That's how you can look for a licensed advisor, which gives you a guarantee of at least not being fleeced and being a qualified person. And you also have a uh, recourse in case the advisor disappoints you in some manner or something goes wrong. You can reach out to SEBI, and SEBI can even revoke the license of that particular advisor.
When should you start thinking about getting a financial advisor? Somebody's asked. I mean, I don't. What?
Yeah, so see, if you have some basic information and knowledge, for example, what doctor had put it across in his presentations. So if you have some basic knowledge, you can wait till mid-20s. But otherwise, we have clients who send their children with their first salary in their hand. Why is it important to get a fiduciary advisor right in the beginning? Is because it saves you from making mistakes. A mistake not made is even better than great investments made later on in life. Because if the errors that you make in 20s, you spend your 30s correcting it. By the time you are in 40s, which is the maximum, which is from career perspective, the busiest time in terms of expenses, the maximum expenses in your life, you're busy just chasing those expenses and chasing money and trying to take care of them. By the time you hit 50s and retirement is facing, looking at you in your face, you look at your bank accounts and all, and you're like, what happened? I was working all life and I don't have enough. Where did my money go? Contrast this to someone who did the right thing in 20s when the expenses were not that high. They reached 30s, the same money of 20s continues to grow, and more money keeps getting added on because they're already on the right track. By the time they hit their 40s, when maximum expenses and maximum revenues, both the things, and the career opportunities start, most of the times the increased income is able to take care of all those increased expenses as well. But your money, which was saved earlier, continues to grow. And as doctor had shown you, that rule of doubling rule, that rule of 72, which means the time taken to double your money is the time is a is 72 divided by the rate of interest, right? All of us will have only limited number of doubling periods in our life. You miss out on those earlier years of 20s and 30s. Your life is gonna be, you will spend life chasing money till your 50s and late 50s, and even in your 60s when you retire, you still may not have enough. So if you're confident that you have enough information, maybe you wait till mid-20s. Otherwise, find a fiduciary advisor, take a one-time, because youngsters may not be able to afford ongoing financial advice, and it's also not needed. Take that one-time advice, put yourself in right place with the right amount of risk management, and being on the right track and not putting money into the wrong places and not getting into a debt trap, and then get regular services by the age of 30. That's on an average, that works out better.
How much does it usually cost to have a financial advisor? That's again Dr. Manjupuri is asked.
Yeah. So do you go to the bank? My question to doctor. I didn't get your name, doctor. Do you
Dr.
deposit your money? Sorry, doctor?
Manjupuri.
Manjupuri.
Yeah, Dr. Manju. So, Dr. Manju, do you go to the bank and deposit your money in FD?
Yeah.
Yes, right. So please do not misunderstand me, and I'm not ragging you. You just ask the question, and I would rather take it in a question form so that we get a little bit of a clarity. How much do you pay to the bank to keep your money over there?
I don't think so. I'm not aware of it. We don't pay anything.
Exactly. What does the bank give you?
Bank gives me the interest on that.
How much?
Well, I these days it's very little, say about something like 7. I don't put most of my money in FDs. It's generally, I used to put, but now I don't put in FDs. So it's just 4 to 7%, only small amount, no?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
4% is in savings account. Right now, FD interest rates are at record high. They'll come down from, maybe probably next year onwards. So people are getting 7.5, 8, and senior citizens are getting even more. But after you pay the taxes, it comes out net of taxes, it is lower. So you
Yeah.
may not be paying anything to the bank, but you're finally not getting much either in your hand.
Right.
So then comes the second thing and I'm bringing you back to that question. I'll come back to that question of how much should you pay to the advisor. The second question I get to hear is, how do I save taxes? Can I buy an endowment policy, this policy, that policy? I just need to save taxes. Where can I invest so that I don't have to pay taxes? And my question is, okay, you invest somewhere 100 rupees, which is giving you, say, 20 rupees, and you have to pay 5 rupees taxes over there. So you
True.
end up making 15. At the other place, you're going to get 10 rupees and you pay only 1 rupee tax. Which is the preferred place of investment?
So where I pay lesser tax, no?
Sorry?
Where I pay lesser tax.
No. Where you are getting more money net of taxes. Focus on the outcome.
Yeah. Sorry. I do understand that.
Yeah,
So wherever
exactly.
the outcome is going to be better, so that is where
Exactly.
we would put here.
Exactly. So wherever the net outcome is better, right? That's a place that you would like to invest or put the money. So same thing happens when you go to a financial advisor. Talk to them and ask them, why are you paying them? And whatever you are paying, or whatever they're asking for, judge it based on what are you getting out of it. Right? So you get an advisor in India, the situation is that you get from 10,000 to 10 lakh rupees, that kind of a thing. Okay. Now, your thing should be that you should be able to figure out that he's charging you the right money. How do you make sure? For that matter, an RIA or SEBI registered investment advisor is regulated by SEBI, cannot charge you more than what is prescribed or what is logical. There is a fee limit of 1.25 lakh per annum as a fixed fee for them, and when asset under advisory, 2.5% of the assets under advisory. But at the end of the day, most of them who are not earning commissions from you save you more than what they are charging.
Right.
So if you go to a bank and make your fixed deposits, or not fixed deposits, even your mutual fund investments with them, there's a commission which they get. Whereas a fiduciary advisor should be investing your money in direct schemes, not through regular schemes. So they should not earn through commission. Once they save that commission for you, that's a kind of an average money that they should be charging you. They should not be making less money than a distributor.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Radhakrishna, I interrupted you. You're about to say something.
I was looking into one question saying, how can you suggest some good methods of investing for doctors?
Yeah. So see, methods of investing, there are only 4 asset classes in the world. Equity, that means you're buying shares in a company. Debt, that means you're giving fixed deposit kind of things. Real estate, we all understand that. Gold or commodities. That's all. Everything else is just a derivation of all of these things. And there are plenty of instruments available to invest in all of these things. Mutual funds becomes the most convenient way, technologically and in terms of risk management, to invest in any of these asset classes. So do not misunderstand mutual funds as only equity or market oriented, but they invest money into any of these classes in a varied manner. So what's the right methodology for a doctor? Doctor is also a human being, like any other professional. It's the same thing. Get a broad plan done, if not a detailed plan, and then that plan or financial plan decides your asset allocation. That means how much in debt, how much in equity, how much in real estate, and how much in gold. And then if you have an advisor, they will be able to bifurcate how much to put into which kind of a scheme or which kind of a share, for that matter, within that particular asset class. So what's the right methodology for the doctor? It's the same like anyone else. Make a plan, create an emergency fund, make sure you don't take loans. Never, 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 never touch a credit card loan. Do not take personal loans. If you need to take a loan, until and unless it's a life and death situation, it should be only for housing loan and maybe a vehicle loan because it adds to your productivity. Other than that, no loan is advisable or should not be taken. So simple rules, they continue to with the same. Invest regularly, invest constantly, let it be there in the market for a while, watch your investments carefully, don't get swayed by the market movements, and stay put onto your strategy. Now you will be able to stay put only if after you have done it with some bit of a planning. Follow these principles and you will make good money. One more advice I usually give to doctors, and I know it's a necessary evil. There's a lot of cash income that they do end up having. My suggestion usually is deposit it in the bank, pay your taxes, and live a peaceful life. It's not just peaceful, it's not just in principle beautiful life or a more ethical life, but also financially it makes more sense then. Because you cannot invest your cash anywhere other than real estate. Real estate has a problem of illiquidity, and the more money you keep sinking in over there, the more chances are that you will have lesser money to be able to enjoy your life. Because how do you use that money then, right? So cut down on cash. Whatever cash you get, you can deposit, account for that money, take advantage of all the sections that are available in your in the legally. Invest that money, you will make much more than, even after paying your taxes, you would have made more money and more wealth.
Yeah.
If does anyone else have any questions? They don't. Yeah. Please feel free to put up your hand. We'll be closing the session shortly. If you have any questions, either type it in the chat box or put your hand up. So while we wait for the questions, Mano Harsha, 2-minute summary of whatever you wanted to say.
Sure, ma'am. So I'd like to ask one question. Was this session helpful?
You're fishing for compliments.
No. Because I had a break in the between, and I know I went a little fast towards the end. So personally, I'm not satisfied with my presentation to the time
Not
constraints. So I just want to know, did it make any sense or was it useful? I'm glad if it did. So actually, there are 4 things that I'd like to say. The first thing is financial awareness, and is very, very important for doctors. First step for financial independence. We need to educate ourselves about finances. First thing. Second thing is kindly talk about your finances to your partners and children. This is something I really urge and kindly request, because my dad never used to share. In his good interest that my children should never think about money, should not necessarily have to bother about these things. But somewhere it was not really helpful. So please educate your children. Don't hesitate to talk about money and clear their doubts, and send them to bank, send them to all the financial things, whichever are you think are important. Involve them in some of the financial decisions if you think they are matured enough. Second, third thing is, please find a financial doctor. All doctors need a financial advisor. And I think all of you can or may have to contact Ms. Renuji, as I think she is the first person of contact. And I'm really glad to be known about that when Vidya ma'am has told about that she's a SEBI registered certified financial advisor and awardee winner also. I think there is no best person that we have as of now. All of the doctors have to have a personal finance doctor. Fourth thing is, there was one quotation that I read The best time to plant a tree is 20 years back, and the next is now. So start investing rather than saving. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for being here for almost 2 hours. Thanks Mano Harsha and Renu for sparing the time and taking all questions and comments in the right spirit and yes, Radhakrishna.
No, Vidya, what upsets me that when you and me needed this advice, Harsha was not one.
Oh, Harsha wasn't born.
Good one.
It's extremely sad that we get this advice too late in our lives. I hope Giri will agree with this. Anyway, it's a wonderful session, and I am sure there should be a follow-up session as well. There's so much to learn, and actually every sentence, every word you spoke, Harsha, was really meaningful and very apt, and it's very useful, I should say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Normally, you both have to be very, very lucky. Normally, Radhakrishna's questions would be either googly or something which will put you on the spot. But instead of that, today he's been, very, very, what should I say? Very, very nice to both of you. So we'll meet again next week with another episode of Marvelous Medicine. Till then, take care and stay safe. If any of you need the contact details of Renu, could you put your email or whatever on the chat box? Your preferred mode of communication, if you could just put it in the chat.
You can drop a mail to me.
Yeah. So could you put your email ID then on in the chat box?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Rakesh, Rakesh, if you could specify exactly what kind of follow-up session you'd be interested in, we'll look into that. Anyway, we are so if you're interested in getting in touch with Renu, the email ID is in the chat box, renu.maheshwari@finscholar. Actually, if you just Google Renu Maheshwari, you'll find her. It'll come right on top. Not to worry. And you can find her on LinkedIn, and I'm sure she has Facebook and Instagram and everything. So once again, thank you everybody for being here for almost 2 hours. It shows that at least we are interested and we are aware that we need to know about financial planning and financial skills. So we promise that we'll bring you some follow-up sessions. Good night.